So the Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra has been around for, not sure exactly, maybe 2,000 years, close to it. Been chanted all over the world in all various cultures and languages. What is the perfect wisdom that this sutra is bringing to us? Famous story of a sincere Buddhist student who asked Jashu, does a dog have Buddha nature? And Jashu said mu, which means not so. How could Jashu say no, not so, when Buddha taught that all beings have Buddha nature? So monks and Zen students around the world for another 1,000 years or so have been contemplating that for years, trying to solve this koan. And the koan basically is, what does that mean? What did Jashu mean by not so? So I think not so is very useful today in this setting of our modern experience with algorithms and artificial and so-called artificial intelligence. Heart Sutra and reaches beyond thinking, as does not so. There is no algorithm that can solve or deal with not so. Not so, the algorithm needs something to bite. So there are all kinds of things that you can load up your head with by looking for stuff and getting into this algorithm of your particular view of things. So if you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, the best thing you can do is go not so. I don't think you can stay away from the algorithms. I think they have you. In order to function today in the world, you have to be part of the algorithm. The problem is, as long as you are reaching outside, looking outside for some sort of answers, you will be deluded, you will be led astray, and you will be told things that are not true. And you will believe them because they fit into patterns of your thinking. Not so is beyond thinking. So we do this practice to become natural, whole, real human beings, not part of an algorithm. Artificial intelligence is not intelligence. It's just an extension of consciousness. Intelligence for me is perfection of wisdom. Perfection of wisdom is beyond what we consider intelligent. I have nothing against intelligence. I hope we are all intelligent and use it. It's a tool, but it's not who we are. See, people identify with their thinking, with their schooling, with their religion, with whatever they have attached to as what they think is real. And then when something threatens that, they get upset, they get violent, you can see the suffering in the world from the point of view of us thinking we're right, that we know. And the algorithms like to sort of feed us that way. Oh yeah, you're right. Come on along. You know, let's see how many views we can get here. So I remember last year when Chungan Sunim was here and we did our little talk at Fogartyville. We're sitting up on the stage and there's I don't know, 40 or 50 people, maybe more, sitting around watching this. And this woman says, well, how come you're not like a mega church? It's a good question. Not so. That's why. I got no trick up my sleeves. Wait. I think that just sort of brings us back home to, okay, this is what we're living with. This is our lives. And what is that? Back to the Heart Sutra. Why is it meaningful now, today? And why has it been meaningful for 2,000 years? And what is it pointing at? And why did Jashu say mu? I think it's a wonderful question. So for some of us, another version of that might work. Don't know. Only thinking. Whatever you resonate with that gets you to a place where you really ask a deep question that doesn't have an answer in the algorithm. It won't be found there. They'll try. I do these talks on YouTube. So when I go to my channel to upload another video, I see all the things the algorithm stuck in there. Man, there's a lot of spiritual things happening. A lot of stuff you could like say, and everybody thinks they're right. You know, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. No, not so. There's no way. And Buddha nature isn't something you get. It's not in the.
Sell that, but you just said you can't sell that, but you just said there's nothing to sell.
There's nothing to sell. That's the beauty of it. Because we always feel like there's something missing. We're not whole, we're not complete, but actually we are. But, you got to figure that out for yourself. Somebody can't tell you that. And you can believe it. And, that kind of works for a while. But then when you're on your deathbed, is it working? Maybe. Delusion could take you pretty far. Samsara, as Buddha would say, the circle of life and death over and over and over and over again. You want to get off that wheel? Get to know who you really are. Awaken to your original nature. Be Buddha. So, or whatever you want to call it. Give it your own name. I don't care. But as long as you have what the Heart Sutra calls the perfection of wisdom, and, I always worry a little bit that I'm trying to tell you that there's some place to go, that there's something wrong with just being a deluded person, getting angry, yelling at your kids, whatever it is, that you end up feeling bad for because, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. That's great. Well, this is all part of it. It's in the Heart Sutra. No old age and sickness and death. There is no old age, sickness, and death. And there's no end to old age, sickness, and death. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. They seem contradictory, but they're just two sides of the same coin. I heard an analogy the other day in an introduction to a sutra where a guy said, think of emptiness or suchness as a fan. On one side of the fan is all of this phenomenal experience. And on the other side of the fan, it's just white. It isn't affected, but it's all the same fan. It doesn't work for me, but it was a good attempt. It's like the algorithm or trying to tell you how it is. Well, if you just think of it as a fan, and the algorithm probably picked up on that somewhere because it knows it's out there in the universe, and it will bring it to you and point it at you and say, "See, here you go. Here's the answer." Then you have to go, not so. Anyway, that's all I got tonight. Looking forward to the retreat on the weekend. And we'll be back here on Sunday after the retreat. It's always kind of fun the day after the retreat to be here. Uh, it's kind of, and we're still kind of buzzing from the retreat on Sunday morning. So it's fun. So if you can't make the retreat, try to come next time. Otherwise, I hope to see you there. That's it for tonight, I think, unless there's a question or something. Thoughts, you guys? That's the end of that.